Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Can you believe it's almost all over? Halloween season.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing specials again this week. It's our mailing list subscriber and listener James Downward's picks. Supernatural. It's a great pumpkin. Sam Winchester is the episode. And Pretty Little Liars. A Very Dark Ride, or It's a Very Dark Ride.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So young people.
Yeah.
Shows
Is Dork Rided
from the 2000s.
It's Supernatural a young person show.
It was when it came out.
But it's old.
Apparently, it's been on the air for. It was on for 15 seasons.
That's an insane amount of
nuts.
television.
That's too much seasons.
We watched maybe 8 of them and then fell off. I don't remember why. We just did.
It just got too convoluted.
Yeah.
With we couldn't tell what they were trying to do anymore.
You couldn't.
Well, it was my first time watching it, and gleaning from what they were talking about, the seals, I was like, how are they going to stretch this for 15 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's all I don't know. I don't know if they had any storylines that really, paid off after any real period of time or not.
Did the brothers ever,
Oh my!
like they write about on the internet?
Was it called Wincest?
Wincest, yeah.
I only know it from catching strays from pop culture.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I'm Freddy. That's Andy,
Hey.
who just said he's caught strays somehow from pop culture, and Amy's over there.
I live with a man with pink eye.
I have pink eye. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's because I'm always sticking fingers in my booty hole and then scratching my eyes. No, I don't know how I get it.
You think you'll learn
the
that
dogs.
at some point.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like you've had it a lot in your life, but
No.
more than I have.
In fact, I didn't have it until I was in my 30s for the first time.
Yeah. You managed to stave it off.
Yeah.
Maybe you went to pick up poop and got a little too close.
Got a little too close. Got too close like a cop undercover who just, they go native and they're like, I'm like the villain now. I'm giving myself pink eye because I just like it now because I've changed ever since
Do you
I
like
went
the
undercover.
attention?
Yeah.
My mom looked at him the other day and said, "Are you high?"
And I was like,
In that tone.
Oddly, no.
Are you high?
Is it itchy right now?
It doesn't itch.
That's good.
It's
Keep
not,
your hands
it's not
off
bad.
of it.
It's really not bad.
Is it pussing?
In the morning, it's a little crusty.
In the evening,
I
and we
think
got
a lot of
pus.
people wouldn't even they would be like, this is hardly pink eye.
Mm-hmm.
But you have no.
but
you get
also-
stuff, you get drops, you take care of it.
Yeah.
That's how we live in this modern society.
I
We
didn't
don't just
want to let it
hang
run its
out with
course.
it.
Because one time I had pink eye and it was so bad that there was a scale over my eye and I was
Okay.
blind.
So anyway, thank you so much for listening.
gross.
This is
I
a
hope
Pink Eyed podcast.
Yeah.
that this hasn't turned you all the way off. But I will tell you, if it hasn't, we have this thing called our Patreon, patreon.com/NOTLP.
That's how we pay for my pink eye medicine.
And that's how we're going to pay for his pink eye medicine. But it's also where we post other stuff like Origins, where we go back into our 18 years of podcasting.
18.
And we record new intros to old episodes. And then there's Topicana, which you get a week earlier. And then there's some other strays in there. Oh, I used it. Use the same word.
Is that the word of the day?
You can catch some other strays.
Everybody scream.
Like our newest bonus show called Primetime Rewind that got interrupted in its debut
Yeah, by hurricanes.
by a hurricane, but we're gonna get back into that too. So lots of fun stuff happening over there.
And also, new Patreon subscribers, we're going to send you a tissue that Freddy rubbed his eye with.
Yeah,
Sending out
culture.
pink eye to everybody.
For
If
the
you
culture.
we're gonna culture it for the culture. You're ridiculous.
Or he can fart in a jar, and then we'll send it to you
Listen,
too.
whatever is gonna get your patronage, we'll do it.
A fart in a jar is almost old fashioned now.
And then you just open it right next to your eye, and then bam, pink eye.
Damn near wholesome.
It is almost wholesome. Fart in a jar. Cake farts turned up in some mainstream media not long ago. I was watching something. They're like,
Is cake fart still a thing?
I'm
I
sure.
don't know.
I guess fetishes don't go away.
No.
Yeah.
They only get stronger.
It is just interesting when you hear about when you're on the fringes of society like we are, and then you
I'm
wait.
not on the fringes. I like to think I'm firmly within society's warm bosom.
When you're on the fringes, like when you're out in the streets, like us, it's just different.
The lunatic fringe.
Yeah, and then you're waiting. You'll hear something like
WBN.
Yeah.
That's local radio humor for you.
You love it.
you'll hear something like cake farts. Like you're like, yeah, 20 years ago I heard about cake farts.
Yeah, welcome to fucking cake farts.
It's like they're like, yeah,
Are we cake fart hipsters?
we're a cake fart.
It's like we liked it when it was called cupcakes.
yeah.
we
They moved up to cakes.
Ooh.
we are first to so little. Podcasting was one that we were
Yeah.
first to. And discovering cake farts.
Yeah,
We were
cake
first
farts.
to that.
Yeah.
Everything else we're late to that party.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, Andy walked into my home fully clothed today. Then he said, I need to show you my Halloween costume. Hold on. And he proceeded to go into his car, change into his Halloween costume, which was a little pair of nudie pants. Like it's like you're fucking naked and he's holding a bunch of balloons in front of him. And at first, because I didn't get the reference, I assumed it was a TikTok thing that I didn't know.
I'm not that young, Amy. I'm not,
You are
I'm
on
not hip.
TikTok. I immediately assumed it was a TikTok thing I didn't understand. And then you guys were like, no, American Werewolf in London. Oh, da.
You have seen that movie, I'm sure, right? Okay.
I don't
You just
remember
don't remember
things
it
the way-
vividly. Yeah.
I'm sure she's seen like once, twice, maybe 3 times, but I think dudes from our era
We grew up with
have
it.
seen it
Yeah.
a billion times.
I've probably seen it twice, so not quite
Yeah.
a million times.
And that scene stands out.
Yes.
Because he's
Him being
naked
naked with
in the zoo. You're like,
Yeah.
it's indelibly in
Yeah.
our brains.
He accosted a little British child whilst naked.
And then Andy had us do him a little video shoot. So go to Andy's Instagram, Andy NOTLP, to see, because you're going to post it there, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'll
right?
post it on our page too, because
Okay. The world needs to see our page is 9/11 podcast, what Andy did and what my neighbors got to see.
and
For
what
free.
what they're calling the cops on right now. We're gonna hear a knock on the door.
We
soon,
hurried
aren't
up. We did our thing, got him in. It's fine. There were no kids outside.
But I wasn't nude.
I know.
It's
I
the
was-
For a
illusion
second, I
of
wasn't
nudity.
sure. I was like, are you naked? Because the way you were holding the balloons led me to believe that you were terrified. It was just the way. And I'm like, he's really naked. But he's not. He was wearing nude flesh colored,
Yeah.
you know.
Spanx.
Yes.
Bottoms.
Anyway.
I don't know.
No, it's
Manties.
store brand Kohl's
Shapewear.
nude illusion
Nude
shapewear.
illusion.
Noodle.
Don't have Spanx or Skims money.
It's that nude illusion we love.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Andy's Halloween costume.
All right.
It was very funny.
Anything else for the top? I can't believe it's just this is the last show of Halloween season. So here we go, guys.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
TV Halloween specials, wrapping it up. We want to start with Supernatural. I feel like that was the earlier of the two.
Yes, I'm glad to do that.
Okay, before we start, which team are you on, Dean or Sam? That's the age-old question when there's 2 pretty boys on a show,
Yeah.
on a on
okay.
something.
Yeah.
I'm probably more of a Dean girl. Sam's a pretty boy,
Dean.
but they're both
as well.
pretty boys.
Yeah.
Are you a Dean boy?
I'm a
So
Dean
you like
boy.
bad boys?
I like bad boys. I like candy. Wait a minute.
As far as the acting, yeah, like in my mind, I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel like there's a little bit of a not a major disparity in their talents, but Dean is better.
What about you?
I'm going against the grain in terms of just physical appearances. Just I'm a Sam person.
You're a Sam person.
Just the pretty hair,
Interesting.
long and lean.
and also
Swimmer's body on that one.
Life.
and also it's all the first time I've seen the show. So just judging by the characters,
Yeah.
is Dean just a dummy?
He's more in the early, so gosh, from what I remember,
Yeah.
he's more the brawn to Sam's brains.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing.
The
he,
thing,
okay.
yeah.
he was a little more the thick older brother.
He didn't go to college like the other one did.
You know, when you think about it in a lot of ways, you could frame this up as like Goodwill Hunting, whereas he would be the Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Like Amy was just saying.
Does that help?
If it sounds like that is the dynamic they were going for even.
It's just two pretty brothers out there saving the world from bad shit.
And are they actually
Monsters.
FBI?
No.
Okay, that's this cover.
And also it's funny how easily
They lie.
again, this is
I
There's
mean,
so many people
something
from
of
the
the era.
X-Files ended up working
Yeah.
on Supernatural. There's like,
the same tricks.
yeah.
You see the same tricks on Buffy, X-Files, and Supernatural
Mm-hmm.
frequently. Like people falling for a fake identity really easy is very important to the success of any given week of Supernatural.
Very
all you
true.
need is that little wallet that opens up and it has FBI on it.
Yeah.
And then you're set.
That's all you need.
I mean, would you question it? Would you be like, real quick, I'm going to Google the number for the local office, call them.
Do you think you'd get as far as touching a dead body if with a fake identity as if you were allowed to touch dead bodies? Like, that's okay. Look, I'm one of the people, many sundry people that are allowed to touch this dead body. That's all you got to know. And then you flap your wallet closed again. And then you work your way to the center of the crime scene and poke at it and pick it up, shake it and stuff.
And then just walk away.
And walk away.
Take a selfie with it.
Yeah. We could do a whole series. It's like Supernatural, but it's just we pretend to be officials to mess with dead bodies. And no, it's a hard character to get behind as an audience.
Yeah, why do you want to mess with dead bodies so much?
But they do
That
that.
sounds creepy.
It's a big part of how
Yeah.
Supernatural works
Mm-hmm.
is
The fake
They-
identities.
they get into mortuaries and undertakers' offices and and whatever.
Now,
what
do
have
they
yous.
do? Is this the first Halloween episode they've done, or do they do one like every year?
Every year.
I didn't look it up, so I
Okay.
don't know. Freddie sounds sure.
I think they make a big deal every year out of the Halloween episode. I'm just from memory. You know what I mean?
This is very Halloweeny. This
Yeah.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got the title. It's the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Sam, is it Sam or Dean?
Sam.
I am. And then Sam Haines in this.
Yeah.
It takes place on Halloween.
Yeah, and it's even got an angel. It has several angels in it.
It's got angels. It's got demons,
Witches.
candy,
And
Costumes.
I guess when the angels showed up
trick or treaters.
on this series, I was not a big fan of how that trajectory of the story changed. Then,
Yeah.
like, it made it a little too like religious kind of, and then like they kind of started course correcting, and that guy Cassiel or whatever his name was.
Castile?
Yeah,
his name?
He's great. That I really
It's
enjoyed him.
interesting that this was basically his first meeting with the one, Sam.
Oh, so this is the one where the angels are introduced?
No.
It's where Sam's introduced to them.
Okay.
And this is
Sam's
a
been in
character
hell.
that is new to the show at this point, but then goes on to be there all the way through the end.
Yeah, and and they become like the cast kind of notoriously close outside of the show and everything too. So they had good chemistry.
Basically, you have your basic. Oh man, I loved the opening, the cold open with the dad that goes to sneak the candy. Even though his wife said, "Don't do that,"
See, that's why you listen to your wife.
because then you're gonna eat 4 to 5 razor blades and die from it.
Yeah,
From that candy, that one piece of candy.
it was smaller than the razor blade. Somehow it had a razor blade bigger than itself within it.
Do you ever? Now that has been so thoroughly debunked, like this concept that it happens.
Yeah,
I mean, it has happened, but it's been somebody doing it to their own family.
right. And not
but do
razor
you-
blades even.
But do you find yourself thinking sometimes when you're just given a piece of candy?
You know what I think?
Could this be the one? We did grow up in the 80s and 90s. Come on.
All my other abilities shut down. I don't think
Oh.
I have to eat the candy.
Oh.
So now we know if we were to murder you, we know
Yeah.
how to do it.
Just give me
Yes.
candy, and I'll just die. But whatever you want, I'll eat it. I won't ask questions.
But
But I like to. There was some magic involved in.
well, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Like obviously, if you're gonna, he's not. If you eat candy filled with razor blades, you're not gonna get to the swallowing point.
no.
Yeah, it was a gross scene too.
Yeah, like it was actually
The
pretty cool
in-mouth- His
is the in-mouth
in-mouth.
POV,
Yeah.
and then you see the little fingers coming in.
Do you think they had a mouth already made somewhere? They're
Somewhere.
like, does anybody have an in-mouth camera set up for us? And then we're just going to jam a razor blade in it and squirt blood through it. I don't think it's going to ruin it. You can use it on Frasier next week.
And then we get another like Halloween-y death with the bobbing for apples death that introduced one of our main characters, one of our main bad guys, who happens to also be on Pretty Little Liars, Ashley Benson. So you get double Ashley Benson. And if you were like, yay.
And she becomes a series regular on Supernatural, is that
No.
right? Or is this just a one-off thing?
This is a one-off.
Okay. Because she did feel like a big villain at the end of, near the end of the episode, the way they built her up. Maybe that's why she ended up on Pretty Little Liars. They were like, we saw you on Supernatural.
We had
Out
to
of
have
this
you.
world.
Were they on the same channel? Was this a CW show or UPN?
No. Pretty Little Liars was a family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
ABC Family, or what was it called?
The Family Channel.
Freeform?
Freeform.
Whatever it was. It's that.
Yep.
It was cable.
But this apple bobbing death, I thought it was pretty horrific.
It's a young woman goes to bob for apples, and a ghostly force pushes her head in so that she can't
Yeah.
get out, and she drowns.
No, she gets bored.
Or
to
no,
death.
then it starts boiling.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Not only is she being drowned, then they're like, you're going to get boiled too? That was a rough one.
Like a hot dog,
Yeah.
you know?
Like a hot dog.
So she's dead. Now we have 2 people dead. And then
Oh, fun fact! You know that kid, the boy, in that scene.
the kid, the boy.
Kid. You know the kid that's they're both flirting with. Turns out he was on Trick or Treat, the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's one of the kids that you know that the segment where the bus driver scene and they take the pumpkins down to prank the girl.
Yeah.
He's one of the kids, and it's because I just watched Trick or Treat on Saturday, and then I was like, he looks familiar.
Oh my gosh.
So it's double, and Sam Hain's involved in that one too.
Yeah. And we've been marathoning the Halloween movies, and Sam Hain's a big part of that,
Oh,
too.
Sam Hain's
Do we
everywhere.
need to let everybody know
Style.
that we understand, but this is how it was pronounced on the
Yes,
show? And
yeah,
do we have
I
to be like
know.
the monsters Frankenstein with this?
I don't think so.
Do people care that much?
I really don't think
Yeah.
so.
I'm gonna say Sam Hain.
We know it's pronounced Samhain.
They eventually realize that there's some spells, there's some hexing, there's some cursing happening here.
Keep finding little bags,
The little bags full
juju
of
bags.
They seem fun.
yeah.
I like to get a little bag with the coins and some herbs and baby bones.
Like a Hershey Kiss
Little
is in
charred
there.
up baby bones.
Paperclip.
They figure out. Well, Sam figures out through reading some books.
Yeah.
Which I love this. I love this trope in any television show or movie. It's when they read for a little bit out of weird books and they find exactly what they need. Books with no indexes,
Yeah.
large books, books in other languages.
Illuminated transcript.
And then they have their book and they have to hold it up and like point at it and go, listen to this. And it's the exact thing they need to know to do the next thing.
And those books, what their dad just gave them to him, right? Isn't that like the lore in the beginning? Like he just had some books.
I don't remember all that stuff, Freddie.
I don't know. Their dad was a monster.
I'm not going to
hunter,
talk
too.
about stuff I don't know.
Either was.
A literal monster?
Their dad was played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He was a monster hunter, and that's how they became monster hunters. They inherited it.
It's the family biz.
Yeah.
He finds out through his reading of his books that what's happening, just because 2 deaths have happened so far and it's almost Halloween, he's like, it's this ritual here to summon Sam Hain.
Yeah.
Well,
That's all he needed to know.
At that point, they found the little witch packets.
Yeah.
So
Packets.
I think they kind of pieced it together
Yeah.
with the symbols.
Yeah, I guess. It just seemed like a little fast and vague.
All the little bags.
But if Sam Hain gets summoned, then everybody's in for a world of hurt.
It's so vague. It is so vague. Andy, how did you feel? Did you feel like you had any like clear understanding of what was going on at this point?
No, I just knew that summoning Sam was a bad thing. aside from the fact that he's going to cause a big ruckus
Right.
by summoning all these other demons to tear the town apart, I guess.
Oh, he would become some sort of demon magnet,
Yes.
bringing all the
Right.
demons
Yeah.
to him, and then that would tear the world apart
Yeah.
because of all the demons.
But also, the angel said that the rising of Samhain was one of the seals.
Oh yeah,
They-
So it was like a double whammy
and I don't know.
of,
That's the
of
overarching
danger.
That's their thing. Yeah, they have this story thread that goes through several seasons, and it's in hell, out of hell, heaven's involved. You can't trust the angels either. And it's confusing
They
and
call
weird.
people mud monkeys.
They call humans mud monkeys. And I never understood anybody's motivations on that show.
Well,
I think that's why we quit watching.
the angels are like, we can't let this happen, so we're just gonna smite the whole ass town.
Because they don't know who is the person that's going to raise
Yeah.
Sam up.
And Dean and Sam are like, whoa, bro, no,
But
we're gonna figure it
Yeah.
out first.
this is what I liked about this episode. Even though there's a lot of backstory and lore involved, it can still stand on its own.
Yeah.
Away from all the other stuff going on with the satanic seals and the demons.
Yep.
And the angels. So like I didn't know all the backstory, but this was still enjoyable because it's basically a Monster of the Week episode.
Yeah.
How do you make a especially spooky Halloweeny episode if you're an especially spooky Halloweeny kind of show, right?
Well, I think most of
In
them,
this one, you have the
they go full.
Lord
Tilt.
of Halloween,
Yeah.
In this one, the flavors of Halloween for this one are it's Sam Hain. Dean keeps eating candy. People are in costumes.
And he fat shames a little boy.
They fat shame that little kid dressed as an astronaut.
And he was about to beat his ass if they caught him because
Yeah.
after the little boy eggs her car or whatever, and he was pissed. I think he was going to actually
He's gonna kill him.
look for that kid.
The character wanted to murder that little astronaut. So no, they figure out. Wait, they think it's Ashley Benson. Tracy is her name. They think she's the witch. Then they were like, wait a minute. No, it's the teacher,
Because we've met earlier while he's doing kiln work.
professor,
He's an art professor.
or a teacher.
Aren't they
Are they high
younger?
schoolers?
They're
I
high
think They're high
schoolers.
schoolers.
So he's an
Yeah.
art
Because they're talking about Tracy being suspended
Yeah.
for beating the teacher's ass.
Right.
Yeah. And he's like, there's nothing that happens. He blew it off. He was a first name teacher.
Then they figure
know
out,
what I mean?
no, it's him. He's the witch summoning the bad doohickey. And then it turns out, no, it's both of them.
Yeah.
One's a witch. One's going to be the vessel for Sam Hain
And he chose the middle-aged teacher, not the teenager.
with the perky boobies.
Like if you're gonna have like life expectancy.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
He chose
Just
him by
basic.
accident because she double crossed her brother and killed the teacher, and then because was Tracy going to be the vessel originally?
I don't know.
But then
That's where I got really mixed up.
But Dean and Sam come in and shoot the teacher, and then he's dead. And then turns out that the teacher is the vessel now.
Yes. He becomes Sam Hain. He gets out and he goes about town creating mayhem.
A little bit of mayhem.
Well, not really. Like a little bit of mayhem. He
Yeah.
just rose. He just made some zombies appear and killed that teenager.
Oh, is that all?
Just a
That's it.
little bit
Just
of mayhem.
one.
Yeah. Coach.
But they hid from him, Dean and Sam. They hid from Sam Hain so he wouldn't kill them by smearing blood, the blood of the teacher, on their faces as a mask.
And
Because
he's
if
like,
that's why we wear masks, is to
we're the shot.
hide ourselves from the evil spirits that might want to
It worked too.
fuck
Like,
us up.
the fact that he's just like,
don't know.
I'm gonna make a mask out of blood, and it worked.
Because this is the type of show.
It's very like no setup, no.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I miss these kinds
Yeah.
of shows.
yeah, sometimes.
I have to say, for like an ancient demon, Sam is easily tricked.
Well,
Just some blood on your face, and he just walks by you.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
And that's a very low effort mask, Halloween mask / Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Smear some blood on you.
You'd think they would just carry masks with them.
Do you remember that lady?
They are professional monster hunters.
At Horror Hound?
Yeah.
Lackadaisy?
Lackadaisy.
Who just had a little bit of blood coming out of her mouth. And that was her costume.
Yeah. She also had the tiniest little horns.
She had tiny little horns on and a little trickle of blood coming out of her mouth. And she just walked around Horror Hound like that, which, ma'am, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying try a little or don't do it.
Well,
you could have just worn the horns.
You needed
Unless that's
horns
real blood.
a little bigger than a thumbtack. You needed at least marshmallow-sized horns.
Marshmallow
Try.
size. What
That's
an
all we're
odd
saying.
thing. You just chose a unit of size that is not within and of itself is irregular.
Well, I changed it from thumbtack to marshmallow.
But marshmallow could be a little tiny
I'm
marshmallows.
talking about
in
the
your
big ones.
cocoa.
The
real big
Jumbo.
puffy jumbo ones.
The
normal medium marshmallow size.
the
marshmallows.
fireside size marshmallows.
We still have some marshmallows, y'all.
Are they hard now though?
I don't know.
I'll still eat
go
it if they're
squeeze them.
stale. A stale marshmallow is still a good marshmallow. Yeah, supernatural. It was supernatural. And it turns out the angels weren't really gonna smite the whole ass town. It was just a test.
Just a test
To see what the mud monkeys would say.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And okay, Sam, does he have the certain supernatural powers because him and Sam Hain have this like mental battle?
I couldn't tell you what's going on there.
Sam can make the demon leave the human body
Okay.
through
Like
his
exorcism,
mind.
kind of, right?
I guess so. But
But he does it by like
it's a
doing a force
demon.
push, like
Yeah.
from Star Wars.
it's not a good. It doesn't come from anywhere good.
Yeah.
So that's why his brother looked real disappointed in him. Like, I can't believe you're doing this again.
Is he not supposed to use those powers or something?
Correct.
Okay.
He told him he wouldn't, and then he did.
Because using those powers opens the gate to something.
Sure.
Opens the door to potential demonology.
And then
Yeah.
whoops,
It's a gateway.
you're a
drug.
demon. I don't know, man, because I don't remember a lot from that show. But there you go, season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
I
great pumpkin.
I had a good time with it because it just reminded me of like X-Files or Buffy. It's got
Yeah.
that cozy demon like monster show feeling.
Yes.
And you know it's the creator of The Boys.
Is he really?
Yeah, Eric
Oh, is
Kripke.
that why Jared not Dean like the other ones on it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Padalecki.
Yeah.
No.
No,
the other one, Ackles.
Ackles.
That's what I meant.
Ackles.
When I say Padalecki,
You mean Ackles?
I mean Ackles.
And when you say Ackles,
I don't know what I'm saying if I say Ackles. He was rumored to play, Jensen Ackles was rumored to play Han Solo at one point.
Oh, really?
When they were working on the Solo movie.
wow.
I thought he'd been a great choice.
You know, I've not rewatched the My Bloody Valentine remake in a while.
Yeah. That was a
And he
fun
was in
one.
that. Or the Friday the 13th remake, which is Padalecki was in.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
He was
Why not?
in House of Wax too.
House of
Yeah.
Wax.
House of Wax.
You know, this has nothing to do with anything, but I just watched Waxworks. Waxwork and Waxwork 2.
Lost in Time.
Those are weird movies. Anyway.
They are.
Now for the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of understanding the story.
Pretty Little
Yeah.
Liars. I'm going to tell you something, Andy. I remember watching this episode when it came out, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on
Yes.
then either.
Because Supernatural, I could enjoy it away from the backstory. Pretty Little Liars, man, you need to know your shit to know what's going on in this.
I don't know that I don't know that anybody does.
You know what I like felt like it was like when you're at a party with a lot of people you don't know and you're hugging the wall and you're like, this is a pretty good party, but if I knew anybody it would be like an amazing
Yeah.
party.
Like, it's not the fault of the show. It's our fault for my
Right.
fault for not
Yeah.
knowing what's going on. But also it's the fault of the show for throwing so much characters,
Yeah.
intrigue, lies, hence the name Pretty Little Liars. There's just a lot going on, man.
Soapy as hell.
That's what this show had a really bad time with, was constantly bringing in new characters. And it's like, stop it. Focus on the core. Focus on a core group.
They don't know how to
And get that right.
They can't get themselves out of the bag they've put themselves in.
So many bags.
Yeah, or
And
corner
also
they
your
painted as
cast.
corners.
Corners.
You need more hair colors besides some brunette ladies. I was so confused about who was who. I know there was a blonde chick, but you got three
Ashley
other.
Benson?
You got three
Ashley
other brunettes. You need at least one redhead in there.
Oh, okay. So one of them should have been a redhead.
I kind of like how this was like a play on Terror Train in a lot of ways, where they're having this, but instead of David Copperfield, they have like Adam Lambert.
The episode is from season 3 called "This Is a Dark Ride." My notes start with the previously on is gobbledygook.
Yeah.
Because this was like the premiere of the second half of a season.
So who was it's kind of like a mental hospital, I guess.
Oh yeah.
In the beginning,
Mona.
She is
That's her name.
Making a mask and singing the Teddy Bear's Picnic.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. Did she show up later on the episode?
She was making a head to escape. She
Okay.
escapes, remember?
Is she the person that drugged Gatsby Girl?
Here's what you need to know. No, who knows?
Well,
Yes.
how did she get out of the hospital in the first place?
Because
She made a fake head
I
there
know
are
that.
so
and fooled
many-
them, and it's all it took.
All I see was a fake head, and all of a
Yeah.
suden she's out.
Yeah.
Here's
that
what
was how
you-
they communicated.
Here's all
it.
I can say. Pretty Little Liars is about a group of girls whose best friend, does she go missing?
She
or
gets murdered,
they
right?
She gets murdered. And then they start, like, sometime later after that, they start receiving messages from someone called A. Their friend's name was Allison. Now they're this thing called A. And it's not just a person, because as the seasons go on, it becomes many different people. And there's multiples of them working at one time, doing impossible things. It becomes like Saw,
Yeah.
where you're like, how am I supposed to believe this character did that?
I love.
It's like Saw.
There's so many moments of just high drama in this episode. I told Amy, I was like, this is one of those shows where you think about like walking into a scene. Just if you walked into a scene from Pretty Little Liars, like where they're just at each other and accusations are going, and the next accusation is more dramatic than the one before it. And you're just like, this is insane. It feels like insanity.
Well, not just that, like all the character interactions, even away from the group of girls, when they're alone with their boyfriends or significant others, they talk, and there's all this tension going on between them too, between like the couples. Like there's secrets and lies.
It's constant tension. Yeah.
Yes.
Even with moments away from the big story.
Yeah.
For no reason, they're making out in the storage room, and they're talking about, but this, but that. You know what I mean? It's all these. They're cagey, but everybody's cagey.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the problem.
It's because you live in a place where something like A can happen, apparently.
mean,
A's. Apparently, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
It's
I've got
supposed to be based on like, it's supposed to have some noirish,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, it has it.
It's trying to do that.
It's kind of like it's very much like if you watch Veronica Mars, which nailed this exact tone.
Yes.
In a way where you could take it seriously, even though like
It was actually grounded.
yeah, and but you're like, oh, these are teenagers, and you're kind of like, that's silly, but then they make a way of making it they make it unsilly somehow, you know. I don't know the magic that they had on that show.
Veronica Mars.
Yeah, and it was probably a lot of it was Kristen Bell's performance, but
I watched a lot of Pretty Little Liars.
yeah,
I did. I was a fan up until a certain point when I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't understand what's going on. You keep getting promised a resolution of sorts, and then it gets taken away.
And then they probably throw some more stuff in.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you're like, stop it. You're
This is the
making
only
this
way-
worse.
I've experienced several episodes of this show, but I've experienced them the same way I did this Halloween one,
As gobbledygook.
where I came in on a random episode that Amy was watching, and it was always just nonsense to me. I couldn't figure out what's going on.
I like the idea of it.
Mhm, me too. It's a great idea.
It reminded me of like if Jawbreaker met I Know What You Did Last Summer.
There you
Yeah, isn't there a new Pretty Little Liars?
Is it like Next Generation or something?
I don't know. I think I
Maybe.
heard they were making a new one. I'm gonna find
I
out.
don't
Because they're
know if I
probably
got-
adults now and have kids. And
Yeah.
There's the next generation of lies.
Pretty
I
big
don't-
liars.
Pretty big lie.
Well, they're not pretty anymore. It's like middle aged.
You know what it is? It's like trying to take
Childless cat lady liars.
to take
Freddie said the one character, Caleb that was making out with her in the storage closet. Freddie said he looked like a mop.
I don't know what a mop looks like.
He had mop hair.
I wrote it down.
Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. It has Bailey Madison in it.
Oh, okay. She was
Andy's co-star.
Yeah, from The Strangers.
New Strangers is coming out
Yeah.
too. That's 2 new Strangers movies in the last 2 years.
So much strangers.
It's a lot of Strangers. But yeah, Pretty Little Liars Original Sin.
The other
22
thing-
years in the past.
In the past. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we stop with prequels? I'm so over it. Anyway, this show
Oh
tries.
no, it takes place in present day though. It
Oh.
just starts with it says 22 years ago, a series of tragic events almost ripped Millwood apart.
So this is okay. I get what you're saying.
Maybe it's a
I
sequel.
retract my anger,
It's a sequel.
but I still have anger for all the.
It says a
prequels.
brand new set of little liars finds themselves tormented by an unknown assailant.
This show normalizes, and never really, from what I remember, confronts the issue of a student dating their teacher.
Oh, are these high schoolers?
Yes.
Okay, because I was also confused about the age
Yeah.
of these girls.
And the one chick, her boyfriend who couldn't come because he was going for an interview to write a book, he was her teacher.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is, and she's at his apartment too, right?
Well, now I think they eventually do get busted.
Okay, because
I think. And so
he
this is
says I
post
can't.
that.
I have to do this report, and then she's dressed up, and some trick or treaters come.
Right.
Is that
Yeah.
this the same people I'm thinking of?
And that was,
And they're high schoolers.
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
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 And they were treating it like it was normal.
Like here's like I didn't get that they were high schoolers because one of them looked like a PTA member.
yeah, totally.
But also, like, I know it's like a trope where like the high schoolers talk very not high schoolery. It's very
Right.
dramatic language and like that. But I didn't understand that they were high schoolers.
Yeah.
So that was creepy. Creepy teacher boyfriend.
Creepy
Not a
teacher
fan.
boyfriend.
And if I'm wrong, do they ever really confront how gross it is? I don't know. So all the ladies, our Pretty Little Liars, are going to a Halloween party on a train
Yeah.
with a special musical guest, Adam Lambert. How weird.
It was real strange, right? Like, when you think about booking a major act in a train,
I mean, when did this air? This is a while ago.
2010s or some late 2000, to like 2009, 2008, that era.
Oh, okay.
Because that's when Adam Lambert was popular, right?
yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But it was fun to see him.
Yeah.
Like songs were cheesy as hell,
They wrote a scene in for him too.
but they were kind
let
of
him act.
enjoyable.
Yeah. It was just so crazy shoehorned
Yeah.
in. Like they're like, oh my God, it's Adam Lambert. Oh my God, it's Adam. Like they've never spoken of Adam Lambert before.
Well,
His
he wasn't
scene's
playing
something.
Adam Lambert, was he?
No,
Yeah.
he was playing
Yeah,
Adam
he's
Lambert.
Oh, he was playing himself.
And his scene
Okay.
is like, "Are you okay? Okay, you joined the show? Yeah. All right. Guess I'm gonna get back up there then." That was like his whole big acting moment.
Yeah.
It was him being courteous to one of the Pretty Little Liars,
Right.
the main Pretty Little Liar,
So meanwhile,
the prettiest, the
they're
littlest.
on this train. So now they're in a confined space with no way on or off. So you know shit's gonna go down.
Oh, real quick, can I say that it sounds fun, but in reality, I feel a Halloween party on the train would be hell
Yes.
because just the close quarters.
You'd be constantly,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah. I feel like we had a lot of
As
parties.
somebody who spent many days on a train this summer,
I mean, I
no
don't
thank you.
like. I don't know how big trains are, but it just seemed very cramped.
well,
and
this
like
is
a party,
glamorous train.
And you're
Like-
constantly moving.
Yeah, because like you know, a Halloween party, you want to talk to all your friends over there and there.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna have to like change train cars constantly.
Yep.
It's
and-
true.
That was just me just pointing something out. It
Yeah.
was-
No, you're
I
right.
don't
li-
think the logistics work out
Yes.
either.
Yeah.
And also, I love how Halloween parties are portrayed in movies and TV, where it's elaborate rented costumes, like movie quality.
Yeah.
And these are teenagers too.
Like remember on Beverly Hills 90210 when
Yes,
they go
they
to like,
went. They went to a Halloween costume shop and
like a warehouse.
yeah.
Where does Pretty Little Liars take place?
Some
Do you
rich
know?
area. It's like New England, maybe.
Pennsylvania,
Oh.
maybe.
Oh.
I think. Why am I thinking Pennsylvania?
Do they ever have water ice on there?
Water ice? No, God.
The Pretty Little Liars eat big old hoagies from Wawa.
Yeah. So the one Pretty Little Liar, and I believe it's Ashley Benson's character. I'm drawing on many years ago of watching this show. Her mom is played by Melrose Place. Who was she on Melrose Place?
Is this the nurse?
The nurse
Okay.
character. Somebody from Melrose Place.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
And then her boyfriend character is a pastor.
Yeah.
And they're, dressed up in fun costumes, and they're scaring kids as they're trick-or-treating until the ghost kid shows up.
This is a hell of a B storyline, and this is symptomatic of older television where you have a ghost on a Halloween episode.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
What else do you got to have a party, and you got to have a ghost kid show up at your house lost.
She's like, I can't find my. She whispered everything she said, and it was
then
driving me
she
crazy.
says, I had to call my mom's, and she hands the nurse hands the ghost the phone. I was like, do ghosts know how to use technology?
It depends on when this ghost
Yeah.
died.
I mean, what did she? I can't remember what the ghost did with the phone. Anything?
I think it.
Or she just leave
Went
the room.
away.
They conveniently. This show glosses over a lot of things like conveniently.
But the ghost was dressed old timey, so
Yeah.
that's why I was like wondering.
Yeah, there
She was
an
wearing a
old-timey vibe.
wig
Yeah,
too.
and like since it's an old timey ghost, I didn't think that this
Yeah.
ghost would know how to use a
A cordless,
cordless phone.
telephone.
Oh yeah.
maybe a rotary, if that.
What really got me though is later on, she's trying to explain to her boyfriend that was a ghost, or it is a ghost child, and he says, "I'm not supposed to believe in ghosts." Are pastors not supposed to believe in ghosts? Is there something
Depends
in
on the religion.
Oh, okay.
You know, some
I thought that believing in afterlife was what you were supposed to. I don't know
Well,
anything about
I think
Christianity.
some religions believe that there's no in between. So why would you have
Okay.
a ghost?
Oh,
You know what I mean? It's
That
just
does make sense.
logical, I guess.
I guess that makes sense. I just thought that was a weird thing to say. I'm not supposed to.
He's not supposed
Well,
to.
then you're not a very good pastor because you do.
Oh.
He did.
I don't know the rules of pastoral life.
Then we do a bunch of flashbacks. And I know that had to be painful for you guys because it was painful for me to remember what was going on.
So,
They were meaningless to me.
But we did see the girl Allison.
Yes.
We saw her supposed murder.
Yes.
There's a lot of shoving.
Very genteel shoving. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a TV show shoving where it's like just a push your shoulder a little bit.
And she was blind, right?
No. That
Wait.
was another character.
That was a blind character.
Yes. She was blind in the past,
Yeah.
but now she has an eye patch on.
Yep.
And who is this guy? Garrett, is that his name?
Yes.
But then he is accused of the murder, but then he shows up on the train again, right?
Because he
Needs to prove his innocence.
He's gonna tell Spencer about
I mean,
what he
it's-
knows.
it's
At
like
the
so
Halloween
dumb.
But
party.
is he on the run or something like that?
No, he just got exonerated.
Okay, because he just made it seem like a big secret that he was on the train.
I think he was running from A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everything goes back.
He's the one who had the conversation at the end of the one car between the cars where it was
Yes.
real noisy and everything.
He's the one who was the dead body
Yeah.
in the crate
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
What was in that crate? Why did you have a crate on a party train?
For a dead body later.
Why is there a giant body-sized crate on a party train? I ask you this.
Body size.
But hey, this show will stretch
Okay, so
your
Imagination.
imagination.
somebody in a mask drugs one of the Pretty Little Liars.
And I think the implication is it was Mona who was the character from the beginning singing Taylor's
Okay.
Picnic.
And this person who drugs one of the PLLs puts her in a crate with the dead body, Garrett, and they intend to push her off the train.
Yes, they do it as
And-
slowly as possible,
yeah.
though.
And
So her friends had plenty of
She
time.
teeters.
but she's also the person that drugged her is also in cahoots with somebody else because we hear two voices talking
Exactly.
about it.
There's always multiples of the A
Yeah.
thing.
A's got people everywhere. The sound of A
I
is
don't
everywhere.
know if they ever get to a final A. Because
Not even in the finale.
am I allowed to spoil this in
Yeah,
any way?
it's-
It's been out for long
yeah.
enough, right? So
I mean, they're in the
Allison-
next generation already.
Yeah, Allison isn't dead. She comes back and she had faked her death or some shit. I don't really remember what happened, but she does come
The
back.
Californians.
So is she in all of this? She's just fucking with her friends.
I don't know if she is the ultimate A or not. I don't fucking know.
Anyway, so we
I thought
don't.
A was a
and
man.
Now I want to go back and watch it again, but I don't know that I
That's a
can
lot
do
of
it.
seasons, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
all,
so we
weird
never
stuff.
find out who put the girl in the box and killed Garrett.
I'm sure you do eventually
Okay.
figure that out. I don't remember it.
It might be Mona, right? Is that what they imply?
I think that was what they were implying.
Okay.
But like this show, man,
She snuck back
it'll
in.
change it if it
She
wants
snuck
to
back
later.
into the mental hospital after getting
Yeah.
out and renting a costume and getting some drugs and
knocking somebody
Yeah.
out.
The thing about like the flashbacks on Pretty Little Liars is they would sort of use those to retcon things.
Oh, that's lazy writing.
If I remember
Lazy
correctly.
writing down
And
on
I don't
the
want to accuse it of doing something that it didn't do, but I remember that. And it's like this one where you just get more and more information about that night, but you don't really learn anything.
But the flashbacks are maybe told from different perspectives, so we don't
Yeah.
know who's telling the truth in the flashbacks.
Right.
So that can be explained away.
I
Yeah.
guess. I think Pretty Little Liars should be studied under glass. It has a Ryan Murphy quality.
I mean, do eventually there's more of a body count besides supposedly Allison, right?
Oh yeah, people die.
Yeah, which I didn't realize until we watched this, that I was like, oh, they kill people off on this show.
And that made you excited. You were like, oh.
But then I remembered all the stuff that was just
Yeah. Then
there
it's
were-
teenagers making out too.
there was a lot. I don't mind that necessarily. It's just that there's a lot of, like you were saying, kind of that Ryan Murphy thing where they're making it up as they go along. So like I'm investing time in storylines that don't exist
Right.
in
That will
the,
just
in the
peter
writers'
out.
room. Right? They're just like
Or like
can't do it.
didn't Lost do that too?
Yes, they did.
Right.
So like I
X
get,
Files kind of did.
so I gather that Pretty Little Liars didn't have a set story. They just
It felt like
They
it
moved
was
the
just,
goalposts on
well
you.
probably as
they
it
were
probably,
Jengaing that thing. They were like, oh, what if they put that one there? And I put that one
Yeah.
there.
well maybe they did, but as it got popular and then this dude was like,
I'm sure they didn't have
we
more
need,
than a season.
we're gonna have more seasons. Gotta
Oh,
get
yeah.
some more out of this.
That
so they
happens.
just probably extended it as
But I think it was that way from the beginning on Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting to the end of the first season because I feel like I watched the first season with you, and being like, oh, that just felt like a lot of loose ends just left out there, never to be addressed.
And I think
again.
that's what ultimately did it in for me, where I was
Yeah.
just like, I can't keep investing time.
Yeah.
I'm only on this planet.
That said, I had a
For
lot of
so
fun with this Halloween episode, with both of
Glad to
these.
hear it.
It was like a time capsule for television too, which I'm always fascinated
Yeah.
to go back and look at the recent past, especially.
Yep.
maybe I should like look up a YouTube video that breaks down all the
Oh, you could
the
get
Pretty
the whole
Little
story.
Liars.
There you go.
Yeah.
Find me a good video essay about Pretty Little Liars and the plot.
One night at the meetup, somebody found a cut of all of Passions, but it was cut into a 3-hour movie. It was a whole series of Passions. Remember we started watching
That
it and we were like, this is
It's
insane.
a crazy project
Yeah.
to undertake.
Huge. Yeah. And it's still weird. It's still just like, it's like almost nonsense.
Do the Pretty Little Liars eventually go to college and stuff?
I believe so.
It's like Say by the Janelle Bell when they
They
graduated
they
high
are
school and went to
allowed
college together.
to grow up, I do believe, at a certain point. And it might even have a time jump, but I stopped watching. So I lost a lot of it, you know.
Do you guys want to talk about,
You know.
the algorithm?
Is it going to get you?
It got me. It got me with the most basic algorithm thing, which is it's Halloween time and Halloween movies were top of mind. So I just binged all the Halloween movies up through Resurrection with Busta Rhymes.
What number was that?
7, I think. No, 8.
Was that the last of the original group?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Okay.
you get to 6 is Curse, 7 is H2O, 8 is this. And I've watched 8 Halloween movies this week.
8.
Yeah.
So there's 8 from that run. Then there's Rob Zombie's 2.
Yep.
Then there are the 3.
Yeah. Yep.
That's 13 Halloweens.
What a magical number.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Freddy,
They can't make any more.
Do they hold up?
Yes and no. I mean, like, there's things I like now that I didn't like then, and there's a lot of things that are wrong with all these movies, except for, the first one's a classic. The second one I think is awesome too. And I like the third one for all its weird
is
shit.
A good time.
When you get to 4 and 5 is where I start having some problems with it.
So I watched along sort of with this. I mostly slept or did other things, but I watched some of this. And I had never seen 4 and 5 before. And I can't say they did anything for me.
Right.
That's where they introduced Danielle.
Danielle
Harris,
Harris.
right?
Yeah, which is a great idea that it's his niece, and so it makes sense that he's after her. And they bring Loomis back, which is fun. But also, like, you burn the guy up at the end of 2, and I've always had a trouble getting out of part 2 and getting into even though I was a kid when 4 came out, and I thought it was pretty scary. Even then, I knew it didn't fit what I had seen before. It was different somehow. Jamie Lee Curtis was an important part. So when they bring her back, H2O, a lot of fun. And that's a Friday the 13th director who did, which is interesting to see who directed, the different installments and everything. The man that last Resurrection where they kill Jamie Lee off and bring in this.
Is that the one with the cult or whatever?
No, that's 5.
That's 5. Okay.
This one's where they have the found. They're doing basically like MTV's.
Oh
Fear.
yes, I remember. After 3, everything kind of runs together for me. I haven't seen these movies. I've seen them like once each.
Oh God, you gotta go back and
so-
watch Paul Rudd in 6 because it's hilarious to hear like the character and how he speaks, kind of like Dr. Loomis. It's funny. It's a mess, but Resurrection is just a shit show all around. Katie Sackhoff's in it though.
Is it not even bad in a fun way? It's just bad.
No, it's bad in a fun way. I mean, like it's Tyra Banks is in it.
Yeah.
It's campy.
Freddie and I were talking. I think he just doesn't like a bunch of celebrity. He just wants his movie, his
It
pure
took
movie.
me out of it. Like I like the
stunt casting.
Yeah, the stunt casting kind of was too much, and then also like I love the gimmick of them sending teenagers with like cameras on them in there, and it's a Michael Myers movie. It just didn't work. It wasn't scary.
Wasn't scary.
It wasn't scary. It wasn't, it wasn't like anything worth making.
We've been doing our Halloween League, which is our curated selection of 31 movies for the 31 days of October, of course. And we just did a stretch. It was pretty cool. Creep Show was Freddie's pick, of course.
Nice.
I love it. I never get sick of it.
And then my pick was Demon House, which was the Zach Bagans
That was fun to revisit.
documentary.
That was like a faux documentary type thing.
No, I think
he's sincere.
I think he's sincere about it, but you'd have to see it
Yeah.
to giggle.
It's worth watching. Actually, it's an interesting it's just him essentially like living in a house he bought that's cursed.
He's got some people with him.
But what I mean is like it's not like him going out to like
Interviewing people. It's like him doing
Yeah.
all of this stuff. It's like a real ass documentary,
Okay.
but you just know he makes me laugh.
You know what?
He doesn't
He's
need
a big
me
goofball.
to.
But
Yeah.
I like to believe that he actually believes this stuff.
I like to think that he's sincere
Yeah.
in his mission, to try to bully ghosts into appearing for us.
One of these days, Zach, your number's up with you're gonna cast the wrong ghost
You
on
were
the right
gonna-
day.
And that ghost is going to say, "Cash me outside."
I think he's a con artist. That's just me.
Freddie is a bigger skeptic than I am.
But also that doesn't mean I hate him or anything. I'm just saying I think it's a con, but con artists make life interesting.
I would love to visit his museum in Vegas.
yeah, they run for president.
that
So
sounds
fucking
fun.
interesting. Yes, I would like to.
But
Go
just
to
judging by him as a person, it seems like he could easily go into the conspiracy right wing territory.
Who knows if he's not already
Yeah.
there?
Oh no, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't
He
know
just
anything
doesn't-
about him.
Doesn't he just seem like that person? Though?
He could. He could.
I mean,
All I know is he bought that house and then they tore it down because it was too haunted.
it's too haunted.
It was too haunted to
Yeah.
live.
So they did like murders happen in the house?
No,
No, it's just a creepy place.
Oh,
People
Word.
don't like to be there.
haunted things happen to people.
okay.
Yeah,
And
they have
he
lots of
actually tore it
stories.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end. Spoiler alert.
It gave him an eye
Made his eyes
Disorder.
go cross.
and so they had to tear it down. It
Oh,
broke up
Zach.
families,
Yeah,
you know.
It's a good thing.
Gave people cancer.
It
Yep.
did?
That's what he
They
said.
said.
See, again, that's why I feel he can easily go into that conspiracy
Yeah.
realm where like
Yeah.
5G and ghosts or something.
The
I think that
vaccine.
all these guys, they allow themselves to believe a certain amount of stuff just to get through it.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like what you're saying, I think he does. He's like, okay, this much I'm going to say is real, and that's going to be my baseline for what
Right.
we're doing.
It's like I'm just asking questions. I'm just putting it
Yeah.
out there. I don't know. And it's just good. It's a good thing he's pretty.
Right?
A good entertainer.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get behind that, Andy, but I can get behind you and your recent trip to the drive-in. Tell us.
Oh yeah, I went to the drive-in again because they had a good lineup. Bonus, we ran into our friends Jason and Dawn, so that was nice. But the lineup was Trick or Treat, which I think is one of my favorite movies now.
We
Yeah.
watch it every Halloween now.
Yeah.
And also a movie called Dead and Buried. Really, first time I've seen this too. And the last one is the one I want to talk about the most. It's called I Drink Your Blood. Man, that's a crazy, kooky film.
It's one of
Really?
the hippies, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah?
I like to think I've seen a bunch of movies and I know what's
You have.
wild and
attest.
Yeah.
surprising. This is really surprising.
Was it did it have bikers in it, or is it just hippies?
Hippies.
Just hippies. Okay,
Yeah.
because I want to make sure there's another
Don't-
movie like it.
I say just go in and watch it. Don't like look up anything before you watch it because it's a it's a neat surprise.
really?
Right.
Yeah,
I'll have to
it's-
add it to our
and
queue.
there's one particular scene, the implications of it, of how the zombies how the zombie thing spread.
Right.
It is so gross.
and
sleazy.
Oh.
I mean, they don't show it happening, but once you piece together how they got zombified,
I just got spoiled on that by just looking at the description.
Okay.
It's on Peacock.
No bueno.
Yeah. but it's one of the grosser things I've thought about seeing before. I mean, they don't show it happening, but the implication.
Is he eating
Yeah.
poop?
No,
Oh, okay.
got pink eye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got pink eye from that.
but it's a wild man.
Yeah.
Wow. Spooky stuff. Wacky. Wild.
How was the weather? Did it get
Really
too cold?
nice. It was like low 40s, which
Okay.
is my sweet spot of drive-in weather.
You tend to run hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed that
Well,
about you.
I was also prepared. I brought extra layers.
Good.
But it's not a drive-in unless it's cold and you have a coat on.
Yeah. You're not huddling there, shaking a little,
Yeah.
shivering.
Yeah, so that's
Get
drive-in
cozy.
season's over for me. Actually, I'm going next week into the Joe Bob thing.
Are you doing the Joe
Yeah.
Bob?
Yeah.
So
Tempted.
it'll be 3 weeks in a row I've been to a drive-in.
Goodness gracious.
What, do you know what movies they're doing at Joe Bob?
It's
Do you
a
know what
Scream
movies they're
Queen
doing?
thing.
It's a Scream
Yeah.
Queen thing. That's right.
Yeah.
Tickets
This
are
is
still
at the
available, Freddie.
Skyline Drive-in
Oh,
in Shelbyville,
I might go.
Indiana.
I don't know.
A bunch of our friends are going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's tempting.
So, if this is the last show of Halloween TV specials, do we get to pick from that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And also thanks, James, for the picks.
Yeah.
Oh my
Very
God!
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had such a good time.
If you're interested in picking a main attraction, just subscribe to the mailing list, and you may be selected at random.
You haven't approached that hat in a while.
The hat has themes in it.
The hat has
It's all dusty
spoken.
now. You pick because
I get to pick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
always
pick,
get to
Andy.
pick.
I get excited to pick. Oh my God, you guys!
Your
what's it gonna
all-time picker.
be? Pick your
What do you have?
nose.
What do you have?
I can't read this. Damn it! Movies starring musicians.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
So let's start working on our pun title now.
We'll figure it out later.
I know, I'm just not.
And sometimes the puns aren't there.
Sometimes the puns aren't there. Movies starring musicians. So that'll be our November.
Yeah.
How exciting. How thankful I feel
Yeah.
for that in the month of Thanksgiving. Is the show over?
Yeah. You want to read some names?
Yes. At the end of every show, I say hi to our Beelzebubs. Patreon.com/NOTLP. Matt, Branan and Emily, Jeffel, Iona Goodwin,
Own a great one.
Dr. Brian, Old Dirty Billsterd, Bill Fahrner, Blayne Yogurt, Jordache Jeans, Monica, Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora, Ernest, Dave, and Paul.
Thank you.
Well, this was delightful. Thanks so much for listening.
Yeah, what a fun. Oh, before we stop, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I don't know when you guys are actually going to hear this episode, but just remember to vote.
Of course.
I just hope
If you're in the US.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but please vote for Kamala.
Can we say that the
and Tim
show
Walz.
officially endorses Kamala Harris and Tim
Yeah.
Walz?
There's
Hello,
only 3 of
and,
us, and we all are voting.
and
for
we're
her,
all-
so
and
I think it's a
Elsa
safe
even-
bet.
Yeah, I mean, like I just say,
The dog.
we have a platform as big and or small as it might be,
Vote,
but I
vote.
feel we should, since anybody that has a platform
Yeah.
that can reach people,
Yeah.
besides like on Facebook, just be in your little bubble of friends and
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
I just want to just say, I hate saying it all the time. Like, this is the most important election of our lifetime, but this is the most important
It
election
feels
of our
that
lifetime.
way.
They're going
I
to tell
don't
us
know.
it's the last time you're allowed to say that. But the truth of it is, the next election is always the most important election of
Yeah.
your lifetime.
But this one is really important
Yeah, it really is.
because they've always been important. But this one feels extra duper super.
Yeah. I agree.
Good thing, Andy.
Thank you. So
Good looking out.
get out there and go vote.
Yes.
And bye. Thank you
Vote
for
early
great,
and vote often. I'm just kidding. Bye.
thanks for a great Halloween.
Boo.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy Leatherface put on Dawn of the Dead. And Igor made the nachos in a severed human head, and they enjoy the movie with their friends. David Kessler walks the streets of London on 4 legs, while high above him Ellen Ripley finds some funny eggs. And Freddy laughs at Nancy in her nightmares as she begs to have